So, there are some things about geese that are good, but... Oh, he saw me. I guess I don't have to whisper anymore. So I actually got the geese to kind of handle some of my grass problem. And that works really, really well. Unless the grass is very, very new, in which case I'm not sure I want them eating it, because it reduces how much grass I have. But even if you feed your goose, if your geese are like mine, until they can't eat any more corn, I think they'll do this, which is mow my lawn right here. That's what they're doing. I think they'll do that out of boredom. I mean, I guess I don't really have goose life enrichment activities to do out here other than eat. But, you know, I don't know what that would actually look like. I do have a, fountain, and they do like to be in the fountain. But the fountain is disgusting. Everybody wants to poop in it. And my demo saw is arriving soon, and I think this thing might go away. I can't keep the water nice. I have been digging a little bit of a pond in the back. Hey! So those weird chicken sounds you're hearing are actually a chicken. This is something known as a sago palm, which has nothing to do with a palm tree at all. They're, I believe the word is cycad. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's a completely different kind of plant, although it superficially appears the same as a palm tree. They kind of have that weird bark like this one does, and they have little leaves that pop out the top, or fronds, but they are not the same thing. This is a very ancient type of plant here, in fact. But it is an extremely good nest site for chickens because, oh, we have a bee. Hey, bee. Those fronds that you see that pop out the top are designed to live for a very long time, which means they are tough and sharp, at least when they start out. It kind of looks like somebody weed whacked the bottom ones on this guy. And unlike palm trees, I don't believe you have to get very involved in trimming. I've never trimmed this one, and my wife trims that thing about every 3 months. Pretty soon, it's going to get so tall, it's going to become fun. It used to have the bark like it is all the way down, but we had a puppy that absolutely loved to pull those things off and chew on them. Didn't we, Lieben? So, anyway, I just saw that my herbivorous birds were out here chewing up my baby grass. So, I'm going to lose the grass, but at least I can get a video of them doing it, which will be fun for me later and you right now. Also, you may notice that right there is the ghost, and behind him is a hen and, oh, no, another hen. Let's go get a closer look. If that is the ghost, which I believe it is, that means the darkness won't be far away. I named my 2 cockerels. That was a good explosion. And another one. Corey must be blasting way up the road there. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's a fairly decent explosion. Where are you, the darkness? They are never apart. Anyway, so I think what my train of thought was there is I named this chicken the barred rock kind of looking one there. I named him the Ghost, and he has a buddy, his half brother, and his name is the Darkness. And if you're not familiar, there were a pair, although it started off as a trio, I believe, of lions that lived in a area in Africa known as Tsavo. That's with a T in the beginning. And they were highly popularized man-eaters. They were a pair of male lions that preyed on humans in that region during the late 1800s, I believe it was. And they're kind of a unique thing. All three were male, which is kind of weird. You don't think of male lions as bonding together, but they do until they reach adulthood and they try to go find their own lion pride, as Wikipedia has told me. And in this phase, they still kind of form what's similar to a pride, but I believe it's known as a different name. And they will hunt together. And even more interesting is those two lions were a very special kind. The lions in the area around Tsavo do not grow manes. They just look like big female lions, but they're males. So, interesting stuff. So, the ghost, where is your brother? I don't see the darkness out here. We need to go find him. That's a rooster, and that is Hennis, the one flapping his wings there. My chickens are extremely fond of, well, I think all chickens are, of scratching up dirt and checking for bugs. And that's what you see they're doing up here. The leaf litter in the tiny little side yard area here is very, very thick, which allows a lot of bugs and seeds to it provides a lot of those things, areas to hide, even though seeds aren't purposely doing it, but they are underneath that leaf litter. And so they go in here and they scratch around and they make these crazy ditch craters. And I guess I don't mind too much. It's not like I'm walking back there very much, but you can see here them scratching. And if I'm patient enough, they'll show you too. Here we go, come on. There we go. We scratch once or twice with our feet, and then we look. You find anything there, you little barred rock? They don't actually watch while they're doing it. I think they have to balance by standing all the way up so they can get a purchase on the ground. And they do that. They patiently scratch small amounts at a time, and they try to stay in the same area while they do it. And this actually allows them to dig quite large holes for the size that they are. It's somewhat impressive. Since we're over here, you'll notice that this guy is in a fence. This is oleander, otherwise known as dogbane. What do you think, Lieben? Dogbane? Nobody cared who I was until I put on the fur. Oh, no. No, this is a incredibly toxic plant. And I don't mean like, it's just a bad guy to be around. If you eat it, it'll kill you. If you get the sap on you, it can burn you. If you burn it, then the smoke can actually cause blindness, assumably temporary. And it does have these really beautiful flowers, and it's extremely drought tolerant. But if bees make honey out of the flowers, the nectar that's in the flowers of these things, consuming enough of it will kill you. It's just a great plant to have around. I bug my wife every so often trying to get her to let me dig the dang thing out of the ground because I don't want that crap on my lawn. They are pretty though, and they're extremely hard to kill. Of course they are. They're something that I don't necessarily want in my yard. Yeah, somebody's doing something out there. Anyway, so between these two what look like dead trees. They're figs. They're not dead. They just shed their leaves. You'll see another one. Boop, right there. That's another oleander, except for it's way bigger. And it is not even close to the biggest one I have. The biggest one I have is probably my height from where I'm standing now. Oh no, it's still taller. It's on the other side of that swing down there, and it is probably a little taller than the one I just showed you over here, but it's got a square footage that's not even really comparable. It's a big plant, and it had never been trimmed, and so my brother and I got some gloves on and trimmed that sucker up, and I believe I buried the limbs of it. I didn't want it to burn. It is a cyanogenic plant, so you just don't want to deal with it. If at all possible, you want to treat that stuff like nuclear waste and throw it in Yucca Mountain. Except for that didn't happen. Also, I'm noticing that my kind of weedy purple flower plants, which I've never figured out what actually are, have been stripped of their leaves. Does anybody know who might have done that? Tom. I'm looking right at you because I'm pretty sure I know who. I don't have any idea what these are, but they cover the ground really nicely. But they don't do so good if you don't spend about 6 hours out here watering every single little thing. So it kind of segues us into my next project, which is, you'll notice I've got this green hose going from here to there. Well, why not cut a trench in my driveway and maybe do an automatic watering system? Well, the main reason is this. I don't know how apparent that is, but this is all one rock right here. And I have a feeling this is actually the same rock that you're standing on if you have bedrock. So this is the North American plate, pretty sure. So I've got to go through the North American plate all the way over to there. But I don't have the benefit of plate tectonics. So yeah, I've got a really big saw on the way and some new toys for that guy there. And we're going to figure this out. And it's going to be awesome, I hope. I really need a path to the yard there, especially now that I can't use any of my outdoor bibs for watering because I'm pumping a ton of salt into it, and I'm under the impression that if I don't receive enough rainfall to dissipate some of the salt, watering my lawn with softened water is not only expensive for me, because that will be one of the major percentage factors of my total water used, whereas, you know, even having a teenage daughter is not as much as the water I need to put on this lawn just to keep everything alive, not even, you know, make it grow really good. So, I mean, for example, all this grass you see here, the part of it that's green and the part that's brown will actually flop and stay that way if I water good enough going into the next year. And that's because the grass that's green right now has very, very shallow depth, and then it's bedrock, so all that water is trapped up at the top, and the grass greens up because it's got access to really good water, and then that goes away and I can't keep it on the ground unless I water it about twice a day during the hottest parts of summer. So fun times.